Network issues are one of the most common causes of app problems, from slow API calls to failed requests to unexpected timeouts, all of which can degrade user experience significantly. With Luciq's network debugging tools, we help you catch and fix those issues before they impact your users. So looking into the network page, you'll be able to see all the API calls that happen during sessions, and you can sort them by the highest network failures, for example, or by their AppDic score, which is a number that we associate for each API that highlights not just the failure rate, but also the latency for the successful occurrences. Looking closely into an API, you will see trends over time for things like the AppDic score, the throughput count, even the P50 score. Then when it comes to failures, the dashboard automatically distinguishes between client-side failures versus server-side failures. And you can see them displayed as a trend or in the table below. Then we go into spans. For the successful occurrences, we display operation spans like DNS lookup, server processing time to highlight bottlenecks within their life cycle. And finally, the patterns. Well, we highlight the health of an API based on different parameters like app version, device, radio, carrier, and much more. In addition to that, you also have the granularity to look at each individual occurrence, and then you have two options. Either connect to your backend tool, where in this case you can continue the investigation on your server side, or replay the session where this API occurrence happened. Let me show you an example of replaying a session with an API that failed. So looking at this API, if I were to click on Play Full Session button, I'll be guided to the session replay at the exact moment when this API failed. And then I could drop down this API, look into the payload, and identify the reason for the failure. I can also look at the user steps right before this API failed to retrace back the steps that caused this API to fail in the first place. And finally, with the replayback value, I can replay the session to see the effect or impact this failed API had on the user experience.